Hello and welcome. My name is Mendy.
And I'm True.
Welcome to Shield's Rest. We're a group of friends bound by our love of tabletop role playing games, and our job here is to explore possible options on how to play the character you've always wanted to play in any TTRPG. Today, we have both made a healer druid in the new Daggerheart tabletop role playing game by Darrington Press, and we will be going level by level explaining each of our builds and why we chose them. If you like this video, please give us a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, where we will be creating more of these builds with various different games. True, would you mind kicking us off?
Sure thing. So, for my druid healer, I wanted to go with the idea of obviously healing, but also a little bit on the support side. There wasn't a whole lot of damage that I decided to go with as far as spells and such were concerned. So, to start off with, I did stick with Ridgeborn. I know I had that in my tank, but I also wanted it here because I think the name of the game is a little bit of damage reduction along with being able to heal. So the only way I was going to survive longer is if I had more armor to work with. So went with Ridgeborn to get that free armor slot at character creation, and then I went with Elf for the ancestry because I wanted to be able to essentially get advantage on the reaction rolls because there's a few things in here that are reaction based, and I don't mind marking a stress in order to do that, especially for some of the spells that kind of come into play here.
Yeah.
But I also wanted to get that extra downtime with the celestial trance. So that's going to be useful in the long term for clearing stress, health, repairing armor, all that stuff, which foreseeably is going to be a thing that is going to be needed on a regular basis. So yeah, for level 1, I decided to go with Nature's Tongue. So I wanted to get not only the spellcast increase, so spending that hope to get the +1, but I also just I'm a knowledge kind of guy anyway, so I want to gain as much knowledge as I possibly can, and if I can do that through basically speaking to plants, then the better the party's going to be anyway. So that's kind of the support side there that I want to keep that going with. Now, this is probably one of the main ones that I took as my damaging. It's going to be Unleash Chaos.
Okay.
I think it's just a good overall, just in case to have, and just because it's going to be based off of the tokens that you can put on the card each and every single time, and it becomes D10.
Yeah.
A D10 damage. So love that to death.
Because at the end of the day, you're gonna need some damage.
Some. You can't be wholly a healer. Like, that's not that you can't. It's just it's not as advantageous
Yeah.
to be just a healer. Now, though, to finally get some healing in this build, because starting out you don't really have anything to heal with. The only thing you're going to have is Warden of Renewal. So I had to go with that for my subclass, just to be able to. I mean, I know you have to spend the 3 hope to be able to clear 1d4 hit points, but still. But it's got a lot of good things with it, especially later down the line. So that was kind of my level 1 picks. So what'd you end up taking?
No, absolutely, very solid. So true, for my character, I kind of gained inspiration from Robert Jordan's Wheel of Time novel, and
Okay.
his character called the Ogier. Now, they're pretty much just like nature beings, right? And that's kind of what I
Right.
wanted to go with. So I could have gone like anything. I could have gone multiple routes here, but I went with Furbolg. I wanted to be a Furbolg.
Really?
Yeah, just a real mellow dude, just kind of out there in the elements, healing people up. And
Okay.
with this build, the only one that really made sense to me, even though it may not be the most mechanically like advantageous, I went with the Wildborn. Just in case you're out there, the party needs to stealth around, and you don't want to be the clumsy cow-faced giant creature, right?
Right.
So I didn't take it for anything like optimization wise. I took it because that's just kind of how I felt the character, right?
Gotcha.
And subclass for here, I went Warden of the Renewal. I feel like it's just the go-to subclass if you're wanting to heal. I mean the 1d4 hit points at the start. I mean, for those who aren't familiar with Daggerheart versus Dungeons and Dragons, Daggerheart you have a lot less HP. Like, it's mostly HP slots, so a 1d4 could theoretically clear all of your hit points or someone else's. So
Absolutely.
if we're going healer, I'm going Word in the Renewal. And once we jump into level 1, what I did here for my domain deck cards, I also took Nature's Tongue. I thought Nature's Tongue was a must at level 1, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And exactly for the same reasons that you kind of like rattled off, is with this character I wanted to be a nature gatherer or a information gatherer. I wanted to learn, and there is no better way to do it than from nature, from trees that have stood for thousands and thousands of years, right? And then for my second domain deck card, I took Vicious Entangle. So I took a little bit of a different route, but I also wanted some combat here. That 1d8 physical damage is a pretty solid spellcast modifier, so you're using your instinct here. And you can restrain people. And I mean, you don't... As the healer, you don't really want to be like face-to-face. You don't want to be in very close range here. So if you can entangle them, keep them at a distance, like, you can't do any better. But that was my level 1. What did you decide to do at level 2?
So for level 2, I decided to increase my traits because a lot of what the Druid is, especially with the spell cards, is going to be that synergy that we're looking for. So I tried to get that plus 3 now to my instinct, as well as 2 to my finesse now. So I see this healer being more of a stealthier individual, or at least not failing so often at the stealth rolls. So the easier that is for me, the better off, I think. I did want to increase the stress. I think that was kind of goal number 1 with the level up, was making sure that I increased the stress levels, because the spells that we're going to be pumping out here are going to require stress.
They are.
So the more stress you have, the more you can cast. So that's why I wanted that. And then I went with Conjure Swarm. I think it's just a solid protection and damage spell if you need it to be, depending on which one you want. And I think that's good for anyone who's going to be a damager that's going to be doing healing or tanking. So as a druid, I think it's just a natural thing to take. But I mean, obviously there's going to be other good damage ones like Cinder Grasp.
Absolutely,
It's a great one, but if you're going to be wanting some defensive capability mixed in, Conjure Swarm. So yeah, those are my level 2.
Yeah, we got a very similar level 2 here. So what I did, I went ahead and also increased my traits as every player should do at level 2, right?
Immediately. Compulsory.
I did, however, go a different route than you. I did increase my instinct, getting that to the plus 3, but I'm going the knowledge route here. So I took a point into knowledge. I just want to be that wise old healer for the party. That's what I'm going for. And instead of adding stress here, I just went ahead and grabbed an extra HP slot. I wanted to survive a little bit longer so that I could dish out those heals as I see fit, right?
Absolutely.
And some more of the same here, True. I took Conjure Swarm as well. I think this is the best level 2 Druid spell that there is. I mean, I think you took it in our Druid tank build video as well.
Yes.
If you haven't seen that video yet, go check it out. It's pretty good. But yeah, I mean, like the 2d8 plus 3 magical damage at level 2, that's pretty solid. And it kind of, you have resistance to the next attack you take, like when it's solid.
You do.
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is spend a hope to keep the beetles around protecting you. Like I can't say no to that.
Yeah, I love the flavor of it too. I mean, you could talk with your GM and try to, maybe they're not beetles, maybe there's something else. But yeah, very similar level 2s for both of us. I feel like we're going for the similar builds here. I'm excited to see where we kind of part paths.
So with level 3, I did want to increase my evasion.
Yep.
So I wanted to think about, okay, what can I do to support this character's ability to just not even get hit at all? And that's going to be the evasion side. And obviously when you're doing your beast forms, you can go into something that is going to be more evasive anyway. So if you really need to get out there. So this just lends a little bit of support. I did also grab an increased hit point here. So I also took counterspell because I wanted to make sure that I could have something in my back pocket to rely upon to stop somebody from casting whatever danger they're about to cast towards my people that I then have to go through and subsequently heal.
Yeah.
But then I also get to rely upon the marking of stress to gain the advantage from being an elf. So particularly for reaction rolls, which is exactly what this is. So, that was kind of my my desire for the counter spell, because I think it's overall party protection from just that spellcaster in the back doing terrible things. So
Yeah, absolutely, and it's gonna save you more time from healing. Like you're gonna be able to heal less. You're gonna be able to mark less stress on yourself.
yep.
And that's exactly why I also took counterspell at level 3 troop. But I did differ a little bit here. I went ahead and added a stress slot here, which you did at level 1. I wanted to get that stress
Right.
right. But here I added an armor slot. More
Okay.
so, I want to be a durable tank, much like I said at level 1. I want to be on the field in case someone goes down, because God knows if you're going to be the only person with any healing capabilities, someone goes
Right.
down, you got to run back to town. You're not going to make it. So I went ahead and picked up that extra armor slot just for some survivability. But yeah, like I said, I also took counterspell, and I think our reasons are pretty much similar. I want to be able to have the capability to heal, but I don't want to have to heal every turn. So if I can negate like a firebolt or something like that, or something even stronger in ice spikes, then with this counterspell, that's some more stress I get to save onto. That's one less person I have to heal because they weren't even touched.
Absolutely.
But that is going to be my level 3.
Right, so level 4. So I wanted to make sure I increased my major damage. I felt like something I was going to need to get a little bit more up there, so that way if I am getting hit and I'm using my armor to reduce down, I can at least get it reduced down below the major threshold, so I'm only taking 1 hit point. And with that end, I also decided to take an extra armor slot here. Okay. So I wanted to get that, increase the amount of hit points that I can negate. And then another compulsory grab is going to be healing field. Yep. If you're going to be a healer, you got to get healing field. There's only so many healing capabilities that are with the Druid right now, which I think I'd like to see kind of change and get increased, because I feel like a Druid should have multiple avenues for healing, but there's only like 2 or 3 right now. So but yeah, so I decided to take that, and if I got to spend the 2 hope to increase it to 2 hit points, then obviously that's what you got to do. So, but yeah, that's my level 4.
No, absolutely. Our level 4s, for my level 4, I went ahead and increased my major and severe threshold. Nice. Still trying to stick to that, be that tanky healer that just stays on the field, being able to heal up everyone. And I also took healing field true. I mean, this one was 100% a no-brainer. If you're building a party campaign in Daggerheart and you wanted to be a druid and you wanted healing capabilities, there's no better spell than healing field at level 4 here for you. Those 2, spending those 2 hope, that's not a big price to pay for what it does.
It's not, because you're going to be generating hope anyway through the rolls that you're doing, through anybody's special abilities where they allow you to gain a hope. All that stuff is going to be readily available, so it's one of those that you can't shy away from spending that resource, especially when it's needed. Yeah,
absolutely. Kudos to you. You're building a really good character so far. I feel like we're very similar here. We have the same thing in mind. I love it. What did you do at level 5? We're getting later into the level, so this is where a lot of more choices pop up where we can actually
Yeah, level 5. I decided to go with the trade increase, get instinct to 4, get finesse to 3. So you're gonna need to take that ability score increase as soon as you possibly can. Warden of Renewal, I decided to go with that specialization. Had to. So instead of going from very close or from touch, you can go to very close range now. So it gives you a little bit of capability, so you're not always having to be right on top of whoever it is that you're going to be healing, like your tank primarily, or if you're like any party that I've ever been in, your damage dealer goes out, tries to be the first one into battle, and then gets totally wrecked.
Yeah, exactly. And everyone's just kind of left on the sideline. You got to rush in.
Right, Leroy Jenkins, and now you're just like, oh, damn it, man.
100%. Now I'm in the fold. We don't need this.
Yeah, no. So. And then on top of that, outside of downtime, you can magically repair. So that's really nice. You can start helping out based off of your instinct. So again, there's a lot of synergy with taking that increased in instinct. So you kind of have to do it, I think. But as far as the spell I took, though, again, it feels like another compulsory buy here, but Thorn Skin. Okay. You got to protect yourself. And if you can protect yourself and deal damage at the exact same time, then why not? So, yeah, so had to go with that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, yeah. So level 5, I also went ahead and grabbed that trait increase, as you always should as a player. Went ahead and upped up my instinct to 4 and my knowledge to 3. So we're getting a little witty here, and I'm happy. We're knowledgeable. We're smart. We're a smart
Nice.
full board. And what I'm happy about this though, because our domain loadouts are not exactly the same. Here I took Wild Fortress. I really thought that this was a good idea, because you never know when someone's in like that critical position and you need a shield to kind of protect you and one ally in this, this fortress that you conjure out of, the roots of the trees, the grass, the entanglement, stuff like that. You can get there and then you can hide in there, and it has some very good defensive properties. It has some high, major, and severe thresholds. So while everyone else is out there fighting, distracting everyone from trying to hone in on your most severe party member, you can be hidden in your little fortress, healing them, get them right back into combat before they even know. But
Absolutely. I mean, it is a good way to do some combat healing and really give that protection. So you're just down there, and then you can honestly just pop out if you need to throw out some damage there. You can just pop right out real quick, and you're not even breaking the dome at that point. So
absolutely. Yeah.
Good.
No, I really like that spell. Let's move on to level 6 here, True. What did you do?
So level 6, level 6, I decided to grab +2 armor slots. I knew I was going to need those. Grabbed another stress because I also took Wild Fortress. I went back.
Oh, you went back. You went back to grab Wild Fortress. That's a great spell, just like I said.
It's great. No, it was absolutely wonderful. And although there were some good ones at level 6, it just wasn't anything that was support or healing based, and I didn't feel like spending a downtime to use Forager. As good as Forager is, I think it's better for somebody who's going to that's not able to do as much as we can as healers during the downtime phase. Absolutely. So I decided to go back and grab that Wild Fortress. But yeah, that was my level 6. You?
Absolutely. For my level 6, I went ahead and picked up another HP slot, and I picked up another stress slot.
Nice.
Anytime I see him, and anytime I can, I typically just tend to grab both of them.
Absolutely.
Like, it just makes your life easier as a player. And for here, my favorite level 6 domain deck card that I could grab was Forager. I really liked Forager. I mean, the 1d6, none of them are bad rolls. And I mean,
they're not.
Say you roll a 6 on this, you get to pick whatever fits that actual like moment in the campaign. It's very nice. But even then, I mean, the worst you can do is
I mean, none of them.
Yeah,
I think they're all good.
they're all great. I guess the worst you could do as a healer would be to roll a number 3 where you get a +2 to spellcast roll. But even that's solid. I mean, that's almost a guaranteed hit here in Daggerheart.
It is, and it's a guaranteed Wild Fortress almost at that point. Like, absolutely. You're gonna allow yourself to have that Wild Fortress right then and there.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're moving on. We're all the way to level 7, if you can believe it or not, True.
Yeah, I mean, we're moving right now. Much like you at level 6, I also took a hit point at level 7 here and a stress slot here at level 7 too. Okay. So, obviously you're gonna need it, like you said. And then I took Cloaking Blast.
Okay.
I thought this was kind of a fun spell because I imagine moments in which you're going to be in the city that you're going to have to throw out a spell, and then you're going to want to hide and just get the heck out of the way. And it's going to probably be you and maybe one other person. Maybe. Like, let's say it's the rogue and you go in with them. They're generally going to have good stealth. You're probably not going to be as good, but if you're able to throw out a spell and then go invisible, that's exactly what I want to do. So yeah, that's essentially why I took that. But yeah, that's my level 7. Simple.
No, that's a great level 7. You can't go wrong here. And that's what I really like about the Druid. I feel like you really can't go wrong. The 2 domains that the Druid used, they're both very powerful. And whenever I was building this character, I felt like there wasn't a bad card. And
there wasn't. It's versatility, tanking, and healing.
Yeah.
And you're going to get that almost at every single level. And so you're always going to be able to fill that versatile role as the Druid.
Yeah.
So you're never going to be out of luck.
Yeah, and you have the ultimate survivability trump card in Wild Shape, even though we're not really using it here, but it's always in your back pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I love. For my level 7 here, True, I went ahead and picked up another stress slot, so I got as many stress slots as you can get here at level 7. And then I also increased my severe threshold here. I didn't feel like upgrading my subclass here. I just didn't see much benefit into it. So I went ahead and just did those two. But with my domain deck card, this is where I tried to get a little fun and get a little bit more combat-y. I went ahead and took Wild Surge.
It's a good one.
I thought Wild Surge was just kind of fun. Like the 1d6 on this card, it's very advantageous, especially at this level. Like, you could use it, you could power yourself up pretty much, and it really doesn't cost you anything at all.
I mean, it just costs you the stress in the beginning. You've got it for the long rest, essentially, and then or until your next long rest, and then whenever you use up that D6, that's just one more stress. But you're probably clearing stress as you go anyway.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the synergy with this character. I have so many ways to clear stress and hit points here that marking 2 stress for this is no issue at all for me.
Yeah, like nothing at all.
Yeah, it's nothing. All right, we're getting to the last 3 here, True. What do you do at level 8?
So level 8, obviously increased my traits. Had to do it. Instinct +5 now, and then I did actually go knowledge 2.
Okay.
So
got a little smarter.
I imagine you're gonna need that, especially when you're starting to get into more complicated injuries that you're gonna probably need to use knowledge to understand and get better, and understand the nature of it. So definitely went with that. Grabbed another stress slot. Again, I'm trying to grab as much stress as I can right now. And then I took Rejuvenation Barrier. It's one of the last healing spells that you're going to have. So between Rejuvenation Barrier, Healing Field, and then Warden of Renewal, that's your healing right there.
Yep,
that's
really
going to be your main one.
Yeah.
It is all you need. I can see there being eventually some more versatile healing spells that kind of come up as they get more into like pumping out content for Daggerheart, but for right now it covers the bases. So but yeah, that's my level 8. What'd you end up doing?
Absolutely. So what I did, I went ahead and increased my traits as well, maxed out that instinct, and then almost maxed out my knowledge. I'm at a 4 there.
Okay.
But with my second selection, I went ahead and just picked up another HP slot.
Nice.
Just to have. And a little bit different from you here. I went Forest Sprites for my domain deck card.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I liked Forest Sprites. It's not very. It doesn't do anything in terms of healing, but much like we were kind of talking about with counterspell, it negates the need to heal.
Right.
It gives you an option, like you can mark armor slots for your allies, making them survive a little bit longer. Meaning, hey, I'm not gonna have to heal those. I'm not gonna have to spend the stress to go heal these players. So it saves your healing for when it really, really matters.
Absolutely.
And I love the idea of it too. I love I love the roleplay aspect of it. I just can't get off of this character. I want to play this guy so bad.
Yeah, that is kind of the theme here with Daggerheart. Is it's pretty good at helping the roleplay with these cards, pretty much. A lot of these cards really bring a lot of great flavor to essentially what you could do as a druid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that a lot.
No, absolutely. But that was my level 8 fruit. What are you doing at level 9?
So level 9, I did increase again one more stress slot.
Yep.
I did also take the +2 armor here. And then I took Fane of the Wilds. I, much like you, did not go for the Warden of Renewal Mastery. Yeah. It wasn't any benefit for going into beast form and being able to heal like that. Like, at least not for me. I didn't see the real benefit in doing so. I like it if you're going to be using that as a commonplace thing, is for you to keep going into beast form. But the way I perceive this character, he's not going to be doing beast form too often unless he run.
Yeah, unless he really needs to.
Yeah, so then Fane of the Wilds was one that I really thought was kind of a fun sort of spell to have. So after that long rest, place a number of tokens equal to how many Sage Domain cards you have in your loadout and vault. This is why I've been trying to build up my Sage domain cards, even though I only took like 2 Arcane.
Yeah.
The rest of the Sage cards, and then it's not just this one. I still get to take 2 more here at level 10. Whenever you would make a spellcast roll, you spend any number of these tokens before you roll to add +1 to the result per token. So thought that was really great, especially for when there's those critical moments that you're really trying to make that spell hit no matter what. So yeah, had to take Fane of the Wilds. But yeah, that's my level 9.
No, 100%. My level 9. You can probably guess what I did if you're a viewer right now. I added an HP slot and I added a stress slot. They're just things you're gonna need to have. But what I did here at level 9, True, I didn't pick up a level 9 domain deck card. I went back.
Oh, did you not?
I went back to pick up Rejuvenation Barrier, much for the exact same like explanation that you gave just a minute ago. And this is your last healing spell. This is all you're gonna need. You're gonna be a very capable healer here, and you're gonna be very survivable. And you're gonna be able to dish out a little bit of damage. Now, it's not gonna be your primary focus, but that doesn't matter.
No.
You're gonna keep your guardians up. You're gonna keep,
You're gonna have your beetles. You're gonna have, like for me, I'm gonna have my thorn skin going on. Like you're gonna have the things that are able to protect you, that are able to protect your party.
Yeah.
So you're not gonna need a ton, hopefully, anyway, unless you got a bunch of knuckleheads.
Yeah, exactly. Playing with you. No, but that's my level 9 True. I'm not gonna re-say why we chose Rejuvenation Bear because we took it for the exact same reason.
Exactly.
But that brings us to level 10. We reach Godhood.
Yeah, we at least semi-godhood here, So level 10, I think this is where my guy in particular is gonna just unleash.
Yeah.
This is where a lot of my damaging kind of comes into play. So start off with the mundane. I did take a hit point +1. Okay. And then I took an additional domain card because I wanted the combo of Tempest and Force of Nature. Yep. So with Tempest, you can choose that particular Tempest that you want to be constantly dishing out. So a sandstorm, a hurricane, a blizzard. And the reason why I like Fane of the Wilds is it's going to help me be able to cast Tempest and hit pretty much everybody. So that was kind of the main point here, because it's just a spellcast roll against enemies, so you're fighting their difficulty class. That's what I'm going to make sure I exceed. So, and then when you tack on Force of Nature on top of that, hence why I want to keep getting that stress, hence why I want to make sure that I'm being able to build that hope. So being able to add +10 to the attack is fantastic. For the to deal +10 additional damage whenever I attack or have a spell. If I have Tempest going on and I'm +10 damage to whichever Tempest I choose, insane. Also, anybody within close range, I'm just gonna absorb them and clear any armor slots. Come on. And then I can't be restrained either. That's even better. So no matter what, I'm just going and going. And even though, yes, I've got to spend hope for the action rolls, I'm probably not going to be doing that too many action rolls, because all I have to do is hold Tempest.
That's all you have to do.
And we're just kill him.
Yeah.
Destroy.
Absolute sustained damage.
It's going to be crazy. So, yeah, that was my level 10. I thought that was kind of a fun way to end it,
I really liked kind of the synergy that you did with those two spells. I took a different route, however, though. But
did you? Thank goodness.
Yeah, just getting off of the mundane, I went ahead and maxed out my stress slots, and then I increased my severe threshold, just because it's something that I haven't touched in a while. It's something you're gonna want to have, and there's no much better options except for choosing another domain deck card, which now, looking back in hindsight, I wish I would have done. But what I did do, I went ahead and picked up Tempest, much for the same reasons that you said. I mean, this spell is just absolutely a nuke.
It is.
You have such a high instinct here. You're survivable. You're surviving on the field. You're able to dish out these heal.
Wild Surge on top of that.
Wild Surge on top of it. I mean, you can't go wrong with this spell. This is where your main damage is going to come from. If you ever make it to level 10, that way you're not just the healer now.
Yeah.
You're casting some serious damage out there. And you know, it's gonna make your guardians and everyone else alike kind of jealous of you that you're able to, you know, cast a blizzard, deal 2d20 plus 8 magical damage.
Yeah.
And chances are you're gonna hit with that maxed out instinct. But
Well, and it's a great minion killer right there.
it
It's a
really
great
is. Yeah.
boss damage, but it's also an incredible minion killer. So if they just keep coming with wave after wave, the Tempest is just sitting there. No chance.
They're done. True, an absolute masterclass from you building this druid.
Same to you.
We were pretty similar all the way through, but I'm happy that we kind of switched it up there at the end a little bit later on in the levels. And I think we spoke on this last video, but this is one of the good things about Daggerheart. Both of these characters can coexist in one party.
Totally.
I mean, you can't go wrong. You got the damage, you got the healing. I think Daggerheart's doing a really good job with the druid.
Yes.
I would like to see a little bit more healing spells.
Yeah.
As you get enough, but it's not like you're a master healer in any aspects.
You're not going to be the go-to as a healer. I don't see the druid as the go-to healer anymore. Like for other classes, absolutely. For other game systems, completely.
Yeah.
They are the absolute go-to right next to your cleric or your priest or whoever you've got. But here, they've got the healing, but it's like you can't be a full-on healer. You've got to be a damager. You've got to have a little bit of tanking involved, and then you kind of have some healing going on.
Yeah.
I would like to see them increase the amount of healing spells there are, but if anything, have some variety, some differences in like how this healing is being done. Kind of like a rejuvenation, like not rejuvenation barrier, but something that I can essentially tag on to a player and they don't have to be right near me to be able to keep getting that.
Yeah.
That they can still go off, and even if it's like a lesser heal, but something that's continual. I'd say maybe you can't really say turn after turn, but maybe action after action, or every single time the player gets hit, something to that effect.
Yeah.
So I would want to see some other things brought in, but overall, I mean, it's a solid class, really great class. Okay healer.
Healer. Yeah. And I think we both like used it to the best of its capabilities in healing. So
yeah,
if you're looking to play Daggerheart and you wanted to play a druid who can not only heal the party but also dish out some decent damage as spellcast and a very good role-playing character. I mean,
yes,
you could be one with nature. You could, you could really hone in on your beast form. It could be part of you, but you can't go wrong with druid.
You really can't. No, it was a good one. So
yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, comment, and subscribe. Please, if you're interested in Daggerheart at all, we have videos on the channel where we actually sit down and play the Daggerheart system with True as our GM here. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of learning curves to go through, but
yes,
please check those out. Comment down below. Tell us how you would make a better druid healer.
Yes, please.
And please stay tuned for the next one. But thank you all once again. I hope you enjoyed this video, and take care.
Next time.